Hi Taurus, this is your September 2020 tarot forecast. So this is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. If your Venus is in Taurus, you can treat this as a love or romance reading. Otherwise, this is for your Sun, Moon, Rising, and it's how you're going to behave, what you're going to be faced with, or how you're going to be feeling for the month of September 2020. Messages for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising, September 2020. Messages for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, September 2020. All right, folks, so let's get out the rest of your cards for you here. As you saw, the Messenger or Knight of Cups jumping out as your central focus. There's definitely going to be a new opportunity at a healing situation for you here. I would say that you're going to need a lot of strength and core. Your value systems could be challenged this month. It does look, particularly at the beginning of the month for you, the first 2 weeks could look fairly challenging. We'll get into why in just a moment. Bottom of the deck energy is the Justice card, right? This author calls it strength, but it is justice. And this is really a balancing. Now, generally speaking, when we're looking at major arcanas, we're looking at something that's technically out of our hands. Something is about to be balanced for you or with you, whether or not you take an active part in it. So there is going to be a balance that will be situated here, and maybe this is part of what's going on there. Something that's out of whack or out of balance already is just going to be shifting sort of back in to balance. So this is actually quite a positive card to have for the bottom of the deck energy, sort of enveloping or acting as a basket for everything here, because this will help alert you to why this is happening. This is going to alert why these challenges are going to be presenting themselves for the first 2 weeks of the month. So I would say that heartfelt communication or feeling 12th house energy, sort of afterlife, or really deep receptive and perceptive energies here are going to feel, or even just basically your sensitivities, your artistic acumen, these types of environments or terms are going to be possibly feel as though it's daunting, possibly feel as though you're going to need to have to balance something here. So I think this is what this is speaking to. I think if you try to impact something, if you try too hard, if you try to force something, for example here, Taurus, I think that part of the justice is that you don't force something here. Because if you do, and you might try, right? No one can blame you for trying. I just think it's going to be an uphill battle, and I just think it's not going to, I don't think you're going to achieve what you want to achieve by forcing something here, especially a language of love or feeling as though you have something to offer. This other person, if this is a person, could be an agency, could be a job, I'm not sure, right? This is a general reading. But there is an element of, speaking kindly, being receptive, being, sensitive and patient and artistic and stuff may not get you what you want at the beginning of the month anyway. And you really may not know what to do about that because something needs to be realigned here. Something needs to be rebalanced, and something is so, and I'm not even saying it's your fault or even the fault of anyone around you. It could be strictly circumstantial, but something is just going to feel like a little bit of an uphill battle here for you because the 10 of Wands is crossing, right? It's challenging the energy of the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups really brings, like I said, a lot of sensitivity. There's a lot of openness. There's probably, if this is a romance reading for you, if this is your Taurus Venus reading, definitely a language of love possibly even an offer of love. But like I said, it's really going to hit, possibly here, very likely it's going to hit a brick wall. So, you know, again, forcing that or trying your hand at a few different things here, you might want to take a little bit of a step back when it comes to behavior. Maybe just sit on it or practice something else, or maybe just wait something out here at the very beginning of the month if you wanted to say or express something. Or on the other hand, go ahead and say it, but you may not get the results that you have yearned for at the point of saying such things. In the foundation of your reading, now remember, what is mirroring this is Aquarius energy, star healing energy here. So what is healing energy, what could be helping the foundation at this time, is a brand new direction, okay? A brand new opportunity, possibly a brand new person, but a brand new spark of genius. There is definitely a new way, a new action that could be taken here toward healing. So what I'm going to suggest here, because like I said, the star being ruled by Aquarius is crowning the situation, which is this group here, and it is mirroring the foundation, which is the Ace of Wands, as you see here. So what I'm going to suggest is, if you wanted to make a declaration or a proclamation of love or romance or some sense of justice or some sense of balancing, maybe even appreciating a concept or an idea, or even something having to do with 11th house issues, right? So we're looking at the community, we're looking at brotherhood and sisterhood, you know, sudden changes. You know, if this is truly impacting, if the crowning star is truly impacting the Ace of Wands foundation, what I'm going to suggest here is that you spend less time on what you're about to proclaim and declare to someone else, and more time on healing yourself. So there's an opportunity here, perhaps even a very real likelihood of honest, open dialogue eventually with someone that you want to speak, say, emotionally with. There could be an opportunity here to do that that would garner you even better results. For example, Taurus, if you were to help yourself first. So help yourself in a healing avenue here, because this is going to make a great deal of difference when it comes to addressing another situation, addressing a larger, say, situation, or even just one other person. I'm seeing two, what am I seeing? Two knights, and I want to mention that two knights are friends from the past. So this could have to do with someone in your past whom, you know, like I said, this is a bit of a challenge here. So it could just be someone that you didn't see eye to eye with, or you can't see eye to eye with currently, and you're really sensitive about it. Here in your recent past and near future. Recent past is the rejected Five of Pentacles. So you're probably coupled or with at least one other person. It could be a sibling, but you and at least definitely you and one other person is just feeling rejected, left out in the cold, and feeling as though you are being forced to ask for help. And again, this is this healing energy here where I really feel like your avenue to health and prosperity and possibly even repair or generation of a loving, say, sensitive relationship here is going to come about primarily and more effectively through your own healing of your own issues and attitudes and just whatever it is, whether it's financial or physical, or whether it's, you know, of an emotional nature here. But it is going to feel like an uphill battle, and here's the thing, you're going to have to want to do that. Right? And this is just, I'm not picking on your Taurus, I'm really not. This is just the human condition. A lot of people, I was one of them, for the way longer than I want to admit. You know, we get stuck in a rut, we stick with things, we have our stories, right? Well, this is this way because this happened and here I am, and you know, the end. But it doesn't have to be that way, especially if you want something, sensitive, if you're perceptive enough to something, to know that something needs to be changed about the situation or the relationship, begin with yourself. That's what I'm seeing here very clearly, because self-healing, taking action towards your own healing and your own self-development will help lead you out of this difficult situation. The tricky thing that I could that could happen here is that you may be the one to have to ask, and the other person that's with you here may not even agree. And it could be that the challenge to even ask for help is compounded by the, further by the other layer of the challenge, by you not even being in cahoots with your partner or current partner, or the situation doesn't allow for you to ask for help, if that's the case. But you are in a position to ask for help, so consider that. Your near future is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is really looking at this sense of it's going to take a lot of effort, and it's not just you. Like I said, the whole point of healing and getting the help is effort. Yes, it takes a lot of effort. Yes, it's going to include a little bit of pain, a little bit of sorrow, looking at what hurt you, looking at the ghosts, looking at those demons, whatever they are, your narratives, whatever they are. But it will feel like work, but that's how you know that you're going in the right direction. It's going to feel like effort. It's going to feel like work, and as it should. And because primarily, Taurus, this is the number one reason why people avoid this. It's effort and it's work. But you know what? If you really want a relationship, a loving relationship to come to fruition, if you really want this to come to fruition for you, I do feel that it is in your best interest, according to this reading today, to go ahead and at least try it, give it a try. Here in how you see yourself as someone who just has a lot to say, a lot going on in your mind, a lot to say. You could be rather cutting, and you could be a little bit less sensitive than you may feel you are appearing to others as. You may just be full of internal conflict here, and you're unable to withhold that, or you're unable to contain that, and it's just sort of being let out. I'm looking at the sort of last 2 weeks of the month here. How others are seeing you as someone who has a lot of secrets, right? Now, whether or not you do is sort of beside the point. What is the point is how others are seeing you. If your objective is to get through to other people in a sensitive and kind manner, and others are seeing you as though you're holding a lot of secrets, then what you are actually doing here, in as much as others perceive you, is trickery. It's going to look like it's an act. It's going to look like you're wearing a mask, not, a cover. It's going to make you look like you're not honest. So what you're saying and what you're doing and how other people are seeing you is not in words. They're opposite, okay? So you're going to want to check that, all right? You're going to want to check why you're in this position, what you're willing to do about it, if anything, in order to get what you want from this other person or this situation. Because if you're playing a game, I'm just going to say it, if you're playing a game and you are secretly somehow aware of some game you're playing, but you just really don't want the other person or agent to know what it is, even if this is subconscious to you, I'm just saying, you may not even have been aware of this, but this is what's going on. And other people, at least one other person, is just like, I see you. I see through you. Now, if this was reversed and this is how you were seeing other people, I would say, yeah, you're seeing through other people's baloney. But other people are looking through you. So I would spend a lot of time just being hella honest. Stop protecting information. Stop protecting a position even, because healing and rest and recovery is going to be necessary if that's the case, right? You're going to have to take a step back. You're just going to, the hopes and fears position here is really just saying, someone's going to call you on something, because they're going to force this to stop. They're going to force this communication to stop. They're going to force this idea that you have that you can just do whatever you want to do here without taking personal, say, responsibility or healing action towards yourself. And they're just not going to come through for you. There is an opportunity, however, at the end of the month. We do have Judgment. This is the card of the Easter. It's the rebirth. It's the newborn. So, I do feel that this isn't necessarily written in stone for you. I think that this is what you need to be aware of, that you can possibly change around the end of the month. If you think, for another way to look at this, Taurus, is to say, if you had a plan for September on how to deal with something, and you thought it was going to work out a very specific way, and this reading is saying clearly, well, it's going to work out this way. Unless you had that in mind, unless you really wanted to do that, I would say this is a little bit of an insight on what not to do this month, okay? Because particularly if you want to be seen a certain way, okay? If you want to be seen a certain way, which is someone who's generous and loving and open and sensitive, and like I said, 12th house energy, someone who's just really into, you know, the big picture, how this is going to affect generations, right? 12th house energy, it's life after death, etc. But it's met with that 10 of Wands. So this is really an uphill battle, and I'm really strongly seeing here, Taurus, that it's an uphill battle because you're not being honest about something, or you're not seeing something for what it really is, or you're not asking for help and doing the hard work that needs to be done in your own personal life in order for you to be heard and to have communication that is built on facts, built on reality. Very interesting reading, and it could just be a very specific reading for a small group of people. If that's the case, Taurus, and this doesn't resonate with you, definitely check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus readings in case this is just for a small group of people, because this is a very specific reading. We do have new love. I am seeing this here at the end of the month with this nice Easter, this new birth card here. You do have a new opportunity. There's definitely a way to healing. There's a way to avoid feeling as though someone looks through you and you can't be yourself. But I do see a couple situations where you feel, or you're made to feel, or you're telling yourself you're being forced to feel as though you can't do something without the other person, or you can't even make up your own mind. If you know, unless you're in a coma or there's a gun to your head, Taurus, really reconsider what that means. You're going to have to take a risk even within a couple, even within a partnership. If it means telling the truth and taking action for your own self. You can't be responsible for anyone else but yourself. Observer is taking a look in this situation at yourself and your position in the situation. You really are being asked to take a look at yourself. We have trickster over here. Just make sure that you're not... Guys, wearing a mask right now, and I'm not talking about your COVID mask. I'm talking about lying and trickery is not going to go over well. Someone's going to see through you, and you know what? You know what's worse than someone seeing through you? Is everybody knowing. So just don't do that. Try to avoid that, or just be super friggin' honest and take responsibility and find some healing in your own life. Okay, whether or not it brings you closer to a desired goal, just do it for the sake of doing it. So express your love, go ahead and make the romantic gesture, and then forgiving and learning as you release and heal the past. You experience more love in your present moments. You really do have to do the work, guys. You have to do the work. You have to take action. This reading got so long. I'm sorry, but you know, there is some difficulty here to face. So I just think it's worth the extra time and. You know, express your love, make the romantic gesture, make the creative gesture in your own healing, in your own life, because a new opportunity does exist for you here, a new life. So make sure with the other person, when they see through you, they see someone exactly as you are, exactly as you're presenting yourself. That's what you want. No trickery here, guys. So Taurus, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to everyone who subscribes, likes, and shares my videos. That makes my day like you couldn't believe. So thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Join me for the next video for your sign. Bye for now.